This is your boy DJ Leon D, and on this channel we talk about travel, money, and lots of cooking. Three things I know quite a bit about. I'm not an expert at anything. Nope, not an expert. I just been around a long time and know a lot. Let's get it on. Well, family, like I said, we talk about money, we talk about travel, we talk about a lot of different things, and we always talk about food. Well, let me tell you about some food I had that was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive, some food I had. Now, I went to a place called Madda's place, Madda place. It was First Avenue in Miami. It was Southeast First Avenue in Miami. I went there because I was so pissed at Ice G for not having hot water in my hotel room that what I decided to do was not eat breakfast there. So I decided to go somewhere else and eat breakfast. And I was talking to this guy I had saw at a CVS the night before when I was buying water. I said, "Hey, what's a good breakfast place?" And he said, "Hey, it's a place down the street around the corner from where you staying at called Madda's. Why don't you give that place a shot?" So this is what I did. I went there the next morning for breakfast, me and the wife. And I was surprised that it was empty, the entire place. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy has recommended a place that is totally empty. And it was like 9 o'clock or 9:30 on a Sunday morning. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a mess. So we get in there, and I noticed that, the decor wasn't anything new or modern or fancy. It was very, very basic. And so that part didn't bother me at all because I like a place that got the name Shack in it. If it's got the name Shack in it, I'm eating there because I know it's some good food, because I have never seen a shack that didn't have good food. Because if it didn't have good food, it would not be standing today. So me and my wife go in there, and we have, we sit down, and, they said, what kind of coffee, what kind of tea, and all the stuff you want. And, I don't drink neither one of those, I drink things of similar color, but not that. So we order food. I ordered the French toast and the sausage and stuff, and the wife ordered something similar. And she comes by, and the waiter comes by, and she just says, "Hey, here go a bucket of teas. Which one you want?" And the wife pick one out. I pick up orange juice. I'm in Florida, and I want a real fresh orange juice because I was born in Florida, and I can't find freshly squeezed orange juice unless it's some juice bar that's going to charge you $10. And I'm like, I grew up in Florida. You can get an orange anywhere. It's going to cost you a couple bucks. So I order my food, and, making small talk. People started coming in, and it's really a guy in the kitchen cooking and a guy up front selling mimosas or whatever. And this woman who's the waitress, she keeps coming by, and we're making small talk, not to her, but to just, ourselves. And you could tell that it was I don't want to say a tourist spot, because it really wasn't, because it was not that at all. But a few tourists like myself just happened to find it and decided to come in. They decided to sit in the back and, order food like I did. After about 15 minutes of being there, the place is getting full. And then I asked the waitress, I said, "Hey, who's Madda?" She said, "I am." I said, "Oh, that's cool. So you're the owner?" She goes, "Exactly." But she is nice, sweet, laid back, and we just making small talk. And she's from Switzerland. Yes, she's from Switzerland. And we just started talking because, I had lived in Europe, just went to Europe 2 years ago for like a month almost. So we just make a small talk, just about, about where she's from. And then I'm making small talk about, do you ski? I like skiing and stuff, and she's just friendly as can be. Well, then the food come out. It is one of the best looking breakfasts you ever gonna see. I do not know who the chef is, and I'm a certified chef. I don't know who he is, but the food, and I don't mean the presentation. French toast looked like French toast. Sausage looked like sausage. And they were pork sausages, like real sausages. None of this turkey and chicken shit. None of that stuff. It ain't made for those kind of people. It's made for people who want a good meal that's going to fill them up, that's going to last a little bit. And then the kicker of it all, they had hot maple syrup. Yes, they did. See, let me tell you why hot maple syrup is important to me. Because sometimes when you cook French toast or pancakes and you leave them out a little bit too long, not only do the texture change, but also the temperature of the food changes. But now if you got hot maple syrup, 99% of most people don't know the pancakes underneath might have been a little cold or cooler than what the chef want to serve it at. But by putting the hot syrup on it, they all taste hot. Yep, that's important to me. They all taste hot. So I ordered extra serving of bacon. They give you quite a bit. It's not like they give you a strip or two for extra and charge you $3.95. No. Someone takes a spatula and they go, or tongs. Someone takes tongs and they go and just grab whatever tongue is going to grab and put it on your plate, and that's what you get. That is great. That is great with a little hot syrup. And the orange juice was perfect. It was typical Florida orange juice. You can tell no ice in it, but it had a chill to it with the damn seeds. It was Florida orange juice. Let me pick through my orange juice to tell you what I don't want to swallow. Not you use a strainer for the seeds or whatever. It was great food. There was no fighting this, and she was as friendly as you can be. And it almost, and the bill was cheap. I think for both of us with the orange juice, which is usually an add-on of $6 or $7 up in the Northeast for juice in a box, or juice in a can, who knows? I think I paid like $35 because the breakfast themselves was like $15 each, for what I had and what the wife had. And so, the orange juice was like $4, which is standard for Florida, considering the fact that the whole state is never an orange. The whole state is just an orange. So everything was great. Everything was great. So saying that, Miami got great food. And the fact she was European, someone taught her very, very well. Now, Miami got some of the best food in the world because Miami has an advantage over most places. Miami got people from around the world who come there from all ethnicities. They come there and open up restaurants. And so you got all the Caribbean food, all the South American food, and you got all the U.S. food. And people stick to cooking what they are good at. Atlanta. They don't try and be fake. Miami is a high-class city with a lot of money. And the good thing about it, they got people from everywhere that got all kind of restaurants, and they are native to where they're from. They don't try and be somebody else. You don't have somebody from Venezuela trying to cook a T-bone steak. No, they cook the steak they eat in Venezuela, which is not T-bones if you've never been there before. But because I debated about going there or going to a Cuban restaurant. I really, really debated a lot. But at Madda's in Miami, you got great food. You got some good food. And I'm going to tell you, and I don't know, and I don't promote places. I tell you the truth about them, and you can decide if you want to go or not. And I know I'm going back because I'm going to Miami again in about 3 weeks. So now I know where to go for breakfast. And I might even take a chance on going to Madda's depending on how far the Embassy Suites is from it. And I want to say I looked it up and it's like maybe 3 or 4 miles. But I don't normally miss the Embassy Suite breakfast. Well, it's free, which is, I don't mind that because if you got a free breakfast, you really ain't going wrong a lot. Because I can't complain about something that's free when I had an option of going to buy something else. But Madda is a place that you definitely want to spend your time in. And, the brick ale section of Miami got a lot of high class things because it's a high class area. It's very expensive real estate wise. If you want to rent a business or build a business, the areas like Manhattan. All is just another Manhattan. But I'm saying all that because if you go to Miami, I don't eat in hotels very, very often. When I eat in hotels, it's very, very rare. because I like to experience the local cuisine. I try to always do that, unless time don't allow me to. But normally I hop in a cab or go somewhere. If you get a cab, don't get it at the International. Don't get it at the Iroc-Z Intercontinental in Miami on next to Bayfront Park. Those guys are idiots and ripoffs. So my whole point is, I tried to find little places to go to in Brickell area of Miami, and I couldn't find places. There's not a lot of restaurants, mom and pop. I mean, you got a lot of tall buildings, 30, 40, 50 stories, and higher. But food is not something that they got a lot of in the area. I'm talking about like little restaurants. I've seen some fruit places, and I've seen some places that have vegan juices. I've seen all that. That's not me. That's like me. I have a thing I say all the time. If you have a meal and it don't have meat, it is just a snack. It's not a meal. A meal consists of meat. I don't want you professional people, well, protein is protein. The hell if it is. If it ain't got a hoof, it ain't a meat. It's got to have a hoof. It's got to have a hoof. It's got to have, 4 legs, 2 legs. Don't make a lot of difference. Matter of fact, they can have 3 legs. As long as they got a thigh and they got a breast, I can make a meal out of that. So you go to Miami, go to Madda's. They got some other places in Miami that you might want to go to that I really, really, really did enjoy. So my whole point is, a city the size of Miami got a lot of great places. And I didn't go to Miami Beach this time, which normally I do because I didn't have time. But Madda's is the real deal. You got a great atmosphere. I mean, like I said, it looked like a shack, and it's on First Avenue, Southeast. It looked like a little shack, but they got some great breakfast. And now, here's the secret to them. They don't open all day. They close around 2 or 3 o'clock, if not earlier. Nope. It's not that kind of place where you can just show up when you want to. They don't open all day. And that tells you that to be in that location for the number of years you've been there and to not be open all day, you got to be making some serious cash to stay open from the hours you're open. So I'm not the first one to know about her. A lot of people do. I don't know them. I never met them. And I only seen the ones I saw when I was down there. But my whole point is, you might want to check them out, and the earlier the better, because they're one of the few places that open early on a Sunday for breakfast in Miami. I thought that was odd as hell too. Yeah, Miami is not maybe the Saturday nights last too long. They're not an early Sunday place to go eat. They're not that at all. So like I said, maybe the Saturdays. Now, I know Miami is a very, very vibrant city on Saturday nights. And so maybe this Saturday nights last a few hours longer than mine. So this is your boy DJ Leon D talking about Matters. You got to check it out.